Hello and welcome back to Carl and Debbie Trains. We've finally got around to do another update of Cattington. So this time we've got a big change on the layout, fixing some vital problems we had. We've got an update on the factory and we've also got some new rolling stock, so enjoy. Hello, I just want to show you this update on our factory area. As you can see, I've added all this outer wall, kind of hides all the kind of cardboard structure in between. It goes all the way back down here and it kind of nicely finishes off down here, giving us some extra views, some different areas. And it looks quite nice. All back. Still much to do, but this area is going to be put on hold and you'll see why in a minute. Okay, I just want to show you these bargains I picked up. So I've got a nice coach that rolls very well. I've got a shell tank which looks a bit grimy. It's the wrong kind of weathering, but I'll tidy that up at some point. I'm only doing batches, so I'll wait until I've got a few that need tidying up, then I'll do that. Then the last one I've got is this prime pork van. These two wagons are going on very special offer. They're going 50p each, and this wagon obviously hasn't got the roof. The couplings were missing, the tension locks on the end, but I've got a box of them, so it doesn't matter. So I'll put them in. They work, and that is exactly as seen. Just a bit grimy, a bit old. I can tidy that up. That is no problem. But for the prime pork, I need a roof. So here's what I've done. Taken a bit of cardboard, angled it, and I don't think you can see in this light. No, you can't. Well, I can't anyway. And there's little blobs on there, and that's actually, there you go. Really, the blobs are the little normal notches you get on the top of these roofs. That's just a bit of glue, you know, PVA. There we go. May not be like the world's best wagon, but once I've aligned it a bit better, there we go, and that's rolling round, you're not really going to notice. It's a quick and easy job, and it takes that 50p wagon into something more usable. Out there, as you can see, it's now jumper weather in the UK. It's not freezing cold, but it's colder than we've had amazing summer. I want to show you part of a track that I've always had problems with, and I'll explain why, and also what I'm going to do to fix it, because it's time that I did. And it's this area here. So this is a little drawbridge section. It's properly wired, no problems there. Easy access kind of thing. I can take the drawbridge down and go in and out as much as I like, no problem. The disadvantage, and this is one of those lessons you just learn by doing it, so it's the curves I've put in. So I was trying to make this 10 foot layout on one side where the village is come down to a 9 foot layout on this side. I think that's right. So the problem is the curve here is never going to align with the curve here. So the idea was, well, we pull it in a little bit, as you can see, it comes in, but then the problem is, I try and compensate on the corners again. I'm trying to get the most out of the track, and if I put that down here, you can see there's a curve there. If I do it on this line, you can see that's all over the shop. It's one way, then the other way, then the other way again, and it's like, yeah, not going to work. One of the other problems, and I haven't quite understood why this is happening. I know you can see what the problem is. When these large locos come over, let's get down on the floor first. The weight's at the back of the loco, and the front pony, or bogie as this is, has got freedom to move. And the problem is, by the time it sorts itself out and the weight comes back on the front, yeah, you're already off. I'm going around the corner on a little bit of a But yeah, it's just not going to work. That will never become reliable. And you've seen from my running videos, it works most of the time. Most of the time I'm happy. But it's got to that point when it's like, well, it shouldn't do that. So what's the plan? The plan is simple. Straight. Simple and straight. Hey, here we go. Look. So I've got these long straights now. I can just come straight across, straight through, and reconnect and go back in the tunnel, so I can keep the tunnels as is. And it's the same principle on the outer. So if I just show that, I know there's trees in the way here. I'll talk about the other problems in a minute. 1 second. Just getting a bit more track. And the coronation has to go back. Come on, buddy. There you go. Yeah, the tree's in the way a bit. There we go. That's roughly what the plan's going to be. So straight across, straight through, straight, and reconnect with the corner as we go back into that tunnel. And that is it. Simple, you'd think. Sorry, need to stop moving the camera around so much. So that's the plan. The only problem I do have is this overhang here. My board is just big enough as it is. I'm going to have a bit of an overhang on both sides. I'll worry about that later. I'm not going to glue it down straight away. I'm not even going to cut it straight away. First task is stripping off all this truck that I have already, removing the ballast, taking a bit of the foliage back, same on the other side, doing the drop section, clearing all of that, all going to come off, and then I'm going to put the track back and leave it to settle and leave it to run for a long time before I eventually cut the track where needed and make it part of the hinge section again. For the time being, the hinge section will always be up. It's vital that I have that for the future use. But right now I just want good, reliable running trains, and that's what I'm going to aim for. You'll see an update of that in this video. I'm going to start it right now, and all being well, the trains will be better for it. See you in a bit. Right, several days later, I've done it. Let's have a look. So this is what the track looks like now. As you can see, that is absolutely straight. It's not glued down. It's not even cut where I need to cut it eventually. It's all loose, and that's fine, because it's what it does mean. If I come back to my controllers, I can turn the large locos off. Without a wall. Right there. Still got the coronation coming around. Just so beautiful. Train's a lot longer than it normally is. I've got trouble parking her in the station and clearing the points. Right, a couple of things to note. I managed to save a lot of my ballast. I managed to save a lot of the track as well. It all came up pretty well. The biggest thing to note is where I've ballasted here. So I've glued the cork down with copy decks, and then I glued the track to the cork. I'm not even pointing at it, there you go. And then I put the ballast in, and the ballast, I believe, is making all my noise. So it's taking the kind of vibrations from the track straight down and putting it straight onto these boards, and these are hollow, so they're going to make a lot of noise. If I bring that 9F round again, pretty sharpish. You can see there's making a lot of noise down this straight and in the corner on the bridge. There's a sweet spot there when most of that was on the bridge and she's not making much noise. In fact, let's swap this around. I didn't anticipate this. I've got a cue on this one. So she's making a bit of noise. This is where all the ballast has been glued down. And it's okay. It's all local works. When over here where it's all not glued, she barely makes a sound. So I'm going to be looking at what I can do to reduce the sound, because clearly it is much better over that section. It's not glued down yet. Like I say, I still want this to be a hinged section, just so I've got easy access. Things like family members who can't duck and dive. And you know, hopefully Cattington's going to be around for a while, and I might need that one day. Who's to know? A couple of things I have found out. I don't know how or why, but this board is slightly warped, and that's been adding to my problem. So there's a bit of a dip. I'm not filming very well today. There's a bit of a dip here and brings it back up, and that was adding to that topple over effect when it gets to this high ridge. Again, I can fix that, but I might be able to fix the board instead. Maybe it's just warped slightly. Who's to say? Still got some tidying up to do here. Got to get rid of all this paper and everything, make it clean. And then, like I said, I'll have a look at how best to put ballast down without making it soak the noise straight onto the boards. Okay, the camera cut out on me then. Batteries. I was going to say, obviously we need to tidy up all these boards. A bit of an overhang problem to fix, and I've got some of this grass to tidy up, and we can put the fence back, stop the sheep running amok. But well, it's only been a few days, but it was quite a bit of work to get all this ballast off, but it's definitely worth it before we carried on doing the extra scenic stuff down here. Obviously we've just got it all to patch up again, but it was well worth doing. Okay, next thing I want to show you is some bargains I've just picked up. So this was from eBay, and surprisingly I got all 5 of these, well, 4.5, for £5 with £4 delivery. So for less than £9 I've managed to get some really nice wagons. So basically £2 a wagon if you like, well, kind of. The only thing that's missing is one coupling. The wheels are good. I mean, the plastic, they're all plastic, yeah. But I've got the tension lock couplings in there, that's no problem. So I needed another brakes fan. This is a bit mucky, just like the ones I've got, but that will clean up, that's no problem. I've got fine fish, I've got another one of these, so it's starting to build a little rake. Again, that will clean up, no problem. Put them down there. They roll okay. And I've got this little wagon here. It had something on the other end, don't know what, but again, mucky. That will clean up, dead easy. And it'll look like a nice wagon. I could put extra things on the end. Rolls quite nicely. These, I've been collecting these for a little while. Originally I had one from my dad's collection. I just love the style of them and the size. And now that means I've got 4 in total. So you can see the difference here again. This one's more of a brown colour. Well, they're both brown, sorry, but this one's more reddish, I guess. This is more traditional brown. But other than that, maybe a bit of cleaning on the roof again, too much white light here. Let's move them away. Hopefully you can tell this one's just a little bit more mucky. But then again, it's not over mucky, so it's like weathered, if you like. So it's not going to stand out, and it looks fine. And then the other thing I've got is half a toad. Not something I boast about usually, but yes, 1.5. It's got all the clips in, as far as I can tell. So if I find a base to that, that'll clip in. Failing that, it can make a nice little trackside, extra scenic building that's been used. Probably turn it into a farmhouse. That'll be a perfect place to have some pigs in the front there. So it's like a barn for the pigs. Almost made for it. There we go. A toad to house pigs. There we are. Alright, I'm going to try and film a running session in a minute and see what I can do to make it interesting. Right, thank you all.